A controversial natural gas pipeline, once thought to be off the table, is back in the mix. The Northeast Supply Enhancement Project is aimed at boosting gas supply to the New York City area by way of New Jersey, and it recently secured a key federal approval from regulators. Now, supporters argue the pipeline is essential to meet energy demands, but opponents warn of environmental risks. Now, all eyes are on the Garden State, which gets the final say on whether the project moves forward or dies again. Senior correspondent Brenda Flanagan is here with us now for the latest. Hey, Brent, good to see you.
Hey, Brianna. So opponents call this project the zombie pipeline because after they'd killed it twice with legal challenges and permit denials that spanned almost a decade, it's come back to life again. And that means another pitched battle between environmental advocates and fossil fuel operators over NESE, the Northeast Supply Enhancement Pipeline, a natural gas project pushed by the Oklahoma company Williams Transco. This pipeline would carry natural gas from Pennsylvania for a combined 36 miles from connections in Sayreville and Perth Amboy along the seabed in Raritan Bay over to Queens, where it would generate energy only for New York, none for New Jersey. It'd also require a new compressor station in Franklin Township, Somerset County. Opponents here claim constructing it would expose New Jersey to all of the risk and pollution of building an underwater pipeline with zero benefits. New York-New Jersey baykeeper Greg Ramode believes it would irreparably harm the bay.
Raritan Bay is just an incredible recreational and ecological treasure. I mean, there's boating, sailing, crabbing, world-class fishing for bluefish, striped bass, fluke. It supports bunker, which are the what whales feed on, and support lots of other fish. There's a commercial crabbing industry here. So to run a needless pipeline across 23 miles of Raritan Bay, going through wetlands and then slicing through marine habitat and clam beds, it makes no sense to us.
Ramode's worried pipeline construction would dig up toxic heavy metals like copper and mercury that currently lie buried away in the bay's sediments, a relic of New Jersey's industrial past. In fact, there's a Superfund site nearby contaminated with lead scheduled for cleanup.
Now $175 million are going to clean up the Raritan Bay Slag Superfund site, which is right adjacent to where the NESE pipeline would be going in. So all this money is being spent to remove lead, but copper and mercury and other contaminants are being resuspended into the water column. So it really makes no sense. And the stakes are even higher because we're undoing really good environmental work on the Raritan Bay shore.
Now, that pipeline traverses more than the seabed. It'll also pass through several New Jersey towns, and many around the bay have recently passed resolutions opposing the project. The Sierra Club has launched an information campaign. It's planning a rally in Monmouth Beach, according to Sierra New Jersey director Taylor McFarland.
And the residents there too, they came up to me in South Amboy and they said, we had no idea this was happening. If you do look at the route where the pipeline is, there's a housing development where the pipeline's going to go underneath the road, underneath the housing development, and some of the residents don't even know. So it's absolutely incredible.
Now, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission just last month quietly reissued its approval for the pipeline. But the project still needs water quality permits from New York and New Jersey. Both states have denied those permits in the past. But there's been a shift in the political landscape since then.
The landscape has changed a little bit. I mean, there's a different administration in New York, and the president is different than last time. But it's the same project. And back when it was first introduced in 2017, it was denied 2 times, both by the New York Department of Conservation and New Jersey DEP. And then, fast forward 5 years later, Transco is back with the exact same proposal.
According to published reports, New York Governor Kathy Hochul's considering a deal with the Trump administration to approve the Nessie pipeline in exchange for Trump lifting a stop work order on New York's Empire offshore wind project. The pipeline also needs a federal permit to potentially harm or even kill marine mammals, including critically endangered right whales, during construction. NJ Spotlight News correspondent Ben Hulak points to the contradictions.
A lot of anti-wind groups along the state coast said that was their rallying cry, right? We can't build these offshore wind farms because we have to protect the right whale. This would also affect porpoises, seals. But yeah, to your point, there is not a lot of brouhaha over this pipeline, which it's also fossil fuels, right?
Now, that federal permit from NOAA is still pending. A Williams Transco spokesman stated, "We will work closely with regulators to ensure all facilities will meet rigorous environmental and safety standards." Nessie, which is expected to be complete by the end of 2027, is designed to address natural gas supply constraints in the Northeast, helping further advance this clean energy infrastructure project responsibly. Now, as for Governor Murphy, we asked for his opinion, and the reply was no comment. That was the same response, Brianna, that we got from Governor Hochul.
Yeah, so the jury's out there, but what happens next, Bren?
Well, what comes next in New Jersey? The DEP is conducting a virtual public hearing on the proposed pipeline tomorrow night. That's going to be from 6 to 9 p.m. You can dial in, basically click on, get the link, express your opinion. Folks can comment there or send a written comment. The deadline is September 24th, Brianna.
Any chance, Bren, that we could see this punted, at least on the New Jersey side, to the next administration, or what are the constraints on the timing? Do we know?
It's certainly a political hot potato. The actual deadline, I'm not sure, for a permit being granted by the DEP or by New York. We're going to wait and see, I think, what each governor decides to do. I think that will telegraph when our respective DEP and the New York organization issues a ruling on the situation, Bree.
And of course, as you mentioned, New York sort of using some leverage there that New Jersey doesn't necessarily have. Brenda.
Exactly. That's because New York has this wind farm that's ready to go. The stop order got put in place, and now that's on hold. Jersey doesn't have an offshore wind facility that's even remotely ready to start producing power, Bree.
All right, Brenda Flanagan, great reporting as always. Thank you so much.
Thank you.